going to bring the power on in here a little bit. On the far left-hand side of the panel, you're going to see your magneto switch, that black lever over there. Right now, we're running on both engine-driven magnetos. I'm going to switch from both to left. So right now, we've grounded the right mag. So in case we lose the right mag in flight, we're proving to ourselves that it'll run just fine on the left. Back to both. Let's check the right mag. Same is true for the right. Oh, and by the way, you probably saw this earlier. If you look out the right side of the airplane, we have that's our little smoke system, just so you know. And that's purely for entertainment. Most airplanes don't have that, but most airplanes aren't nearly as fun to fly as this. Well, Jim, again, welcome aboard. I'm Rob back here. 1942 Boeing Stearman. This was actually built a month after Pearl Harbor, January 12th, 1942, when it was delivered to the United States Navy. And it's a beautiful day, nice and smooth up there. So what we'll do is for takeoff, I'm going to do that for you. So just have your feet on the floor, hands in your lap for that. The idea is once we get to about 200 feet off the ground, I'm going to have you come on the controls with me. We're just going to do a series of turns together, one to the left and one to the right. Once you do that, she's yours. Two hints. One, if you look outside the airplane the majority of the time, you're going to do great. Look at your horizon. Don't disregard those instruments, just like your car. You know, you want to know how fast you're going, you look, and then you look back outside. The other thing is, when you grab this stick and put your feet on the pedals, loose grip. Because if you have a death grip on it, your hand's going to cramp after 5 minutes. You want to hold that stick like you're holding a Coke can, and when you put your feet on the pedal, just rest them there, you know. Okay. Don't push on them. And that's it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the idea on the takeoff with this, or a P-51 Mustang, or a Corsair, doesn't matter, same technique, is you want to look straight ahead, and you focus on infinity, and when you do so, you'll see these little white runway markers going by. So right now we're in the middle of the runway. It's nice on this short runway because off your right wing, you'll see there's a fence that parallels our runway. So we bring the power on in, full power, all the way to the stop. She speeds up. The tail comes off the ground right about here. She's ready to fly, and away we go. And we're off the ground. Looks like your wife and daughter are right over here and off your left underneath the maybe not. Up we go.
Wow.
Now, first thing you want to look at is your horizon. Got a really nice crisp one today, so that's really going to be helpful. Go ahead and grab the stick and put your feet on those pedals down there. The best climb speed is 75. So, you know, 75 is going to give you about 400 feet per minute rate of climb. Now, I'm still with you here. The first thing I want you to do is let's try a left-hand turn. So gently ease the stick to the left. It's going to roll to the left. You get the angle of bank that you want. You bring the stick back to neutral. Good. Now, we have 220 horsepower up there. A lot of torque pulling the nose to the left. If you look at that little black ball, that ball is right between the two little white marks.
Right.
That tells you how much rudder pedal pressure to use in a turn. You never have to use any left rudder to go left because of the torque of the engine. Beautiful. Lesson number one. Just keep it coming to your left until you see that little red and white tower over there with a little flashing light. We'll head over towards that. Nice. Let's try a turn to your right. Same deal. Shallow angle of bank, 10 degrees, 20, good. Stick back to neutral. Now look at that little ball. See how that ball's out to the right?
Yeah.
Gently push forward on the right rudder pedal until that ball comes back in the middle. That tells you how much rudder pedal pressure to use in a turn. You got it. That's how you fly Stearman. Let's go ahead and roll the wings back to level. Bring that nose up a little bit. We're going about 100. We want to be going about 75. So let's make a left-hand turn here, Jim. So bring the nose up for me. There you go. Remember, no rudder at all to make a left-hand turn. To put it in a nutshell, if I cut your left leg off right now, you'd be good until we got on the ground. Now, where we want to go here today is out here. You see all that grassy area?
Yeah.
That's where we're going, safe. We'll head on out that way. And bring that nose up a little bit more. Now, if you look over the nose, you don't really have a reference as to if you're climbing or descending.
Right.
But if you look out on the wingtips, you see your horizon out here on the right? That's your horizon. You can see it when you're climbing or descending based on your, the angle of attack on the wings. Bring the nose up a little bit more. up some more. A little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. Hold it right there. Now, a lot of the maneuvers that we're going to be doing initially are called ground reference maneuvers. Now, what that means is just by looking over the side of the airplane, you can see which direction you're going. Down below you to your right, you see there's a road down there. I want you to cross over the road. That road's north and south. I want you to cross over that road, make a right-hand turn, follow that road to the north. Shallow angle of bank, add that right rudder, and bring that nose up a little bit in the turn. And you want to maintain that rudder pedal pressure throughout the whole turn. A little bit more right rudder. There you go. There's that road off your right wing. We'll roll the wings back to level. Let's make a left-hand turn. Jim, if you look down here, you see there's a fence line or a tree line right there. That's the east and west. So let's make a left-hand turn and let's go to the west. And again, you don't have to use any rudder with this one at all. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, I let go of the stick about 2 minutes ago. It's all you. Cool. Let's make another right-hand turn. Right off your right wing, and there's another little road down there. That's north and south. Good. And we'll make one more left-hand turn. So basically, I like to tell people you have to learn how to crawl before you can walk, and how to walk before you can run, which is what you're doing now. Right. Just keep it coming to your left, and we'll head on out. If you look way out there in the distance, there's a big landfill. That's over at Zephyr Hills. Okay. We'll kind of go that way. What do you think so far? Pretty cool?
It is cool.
Yeah. You know, look, if you look down below, it beats flying around Miami. You know, we could, you know, it's nothing out here but you and I in open fields, so it's a really, really safe place for us to fly. Yeah, beautiful. All right, right now, a quick glance at your upper left-hand instrument tells you that you're at about 1,100 feet. Okay. Just keep it climbing. We'll go up another 100 feet or so. There you go.
Gripping too tight.
What's that?
I'm gripping too tight.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, just level out here. We'll do a little exercise. That's about level flight. Just let go of the stick for me for a second. Okay. Now, look at me in the mirror.
Right.
Now check, look, this thing doesn't need you to fly it. And well, you'll loosen it on the grip when you get more comfortable with it. But basically, you just have to tell it what you want it to do. It'll fly this direction until it runs out of gas. I mean, it's a great trainer. All right, you got it. All right, I'm gonna start your lesson here. What I want you to do is, when you're flying on up here, you're doing some really nice 20-degree angle of bank turns. What I want you to do is push your boundaries a little bit, and we're going to increase your angle of bank by 10 degrees to like 30 degrees. Those wires right ahead of you, right ahead of the windscreen, those wires are at a 45-degree angle right now to the horizon. So we're looking for a 30-degree angle of bank turn to your left. So let's try that. You have to guess. So that's, what, 10 degrees, 20, 30. Perfect. Around you go. Now, Jim, we call these coordination exercises, or coordination turns. A little bit later on in our flight, what you're doing right now is going to be critical. So that's why we want to do this. Good. Just keep it going to your left. This is going back to the east. You can see this little line right here. Yep. When we're perpendicular to it or parallel with this one, we're going back to the north. We'll roll the wings back to level. Just look outside at your bridge. Don't worry about those instruments at all. If I had duct tape, I would have duct taped them all. Good. Let's try one to your right. Now on this one, remember to add a little right rudder. There you go. Good. Perfect. That's 90 degrees there. Another 90 degrees to go to your right. Beautiful. How nice it is up here. Nice and smooth up here at 1,200 feet.
It's beautiful.
You feeling good?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and roll it on out. Let's push you a little bit more. Focusing on those wires right ahead of you once again.
Yeah.
I want you to put that left wire ahead of you, parallel to the horizon, and about 2 inches above the horizon, and that'll be a level turn in the sky. Let's try one. So basically, it's only about 10, 15 degrees more than what you just finished up. Perfect, right there. It's kind of nice because when you do this, you have that wire right ahead of you, and it's nice reference. You don't have to guess anymore. Nice job, Jim. Hold it right here. And like I mentioned to you before, this is what you got to do to get your pilot's license right here. One of the maneuvers. Pretty simple. That's 90, or that's 180. Here's 270 degrees. $360 degrees would be here. Awesome. Let's try one to your right. Same deal. Put that right wire parallel with the horizon. You're going to have to use just a little smidge of right rudder. Nice job. And around you go. There you go. $180 there. There's a little line right off your right wingtip down there. That's 270s here. There's 360 there, so just keep it going to the right. And we'll roll the wings back to level. And at this point in time, I can't teach you anything more on how to turn in the airplane. I mean, it's pretty cut and dried at this point. Having fun?
Yes, sir.
So do you feel like John Wayne in the Flying Leathernecks yet?
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay, well, cool. We're going to go press on to our next little exercise, and it's a lot of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate turns, which you got that down, with going up and down at the same time, which is pretty simple. It's the stick. So what we'll do is I'll come on the controls with you, and we'll do one of these to the left together. All right, so just feel what I do. I'm back with you here. It's really simple. It seems hard, but it's simple. 10 degrees. That's all you want. Something really shallow, nothing steep. Gently bring the nose up. Freeze the stick right there. Enjoy the ride. Don't move it at all. What it's doing is gravity is pulling the nose through the horizon on its own because we're slowing down. Downhill we come. Now listen to it. Listen to the airplane. There's 80, 90. You hear it?
Yeah.
Gently roll the wings back to level. Bring the nose up, and you're going the other way. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was great.
Now, the idea is those are fun to do, but again, it develops that whole seat of the pants flying thing. Just by sound alone, you can hear the airplane slow down and speed up. So it's that whole seat of the pants flying thing that we talked about on the ground. All right, let's have you do one of those to your left, Jim. I'll talk you through it. So let's go to the left. Left.
Right.
Yeah. 10 degrees. That's the key. There. Bring the nose up. Good. Just hold the stick right there. Don't move anything. That's why they call it lazy. Look over your left shoulder. Isn't that slow? Start rolling the wings to your right and gently bring the nose on up. Listen to it. There's 100, 105. Nice job. Pretty fun, huh?
Excellent.
Cool. Yeah. Let's try one of those. You're smiling now. All right. Let's try one of those to the right, Jim. The only difference here is you have to use a little bit of right rudder pedal pressure over the top, okay? So 10 degrees, perfect. Bring the nose up. Bring the stick back. Back some more. Back some more. Hold this stick right there. Touch your right rudder right here. Enjoy your view. Nice. Downhill she flies. Listen to it. There's 80, 90. Roll the wings back to level. Bring the nose up. Fun.
Wow.
Yeah, those are cool.
That's cool.
I love doing those. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I do them in our other airplanes, the loops and the rolls. With the Lazy 8s, the more of those you do, the more comfortable you become, and the steeper you can do them.
Yeah.
What I'd like you to do now, I'm going to test you. One of those to your left, followed by one of those to your right. No stopping in between the two. Don't think of the whole thing. Just compartmentalize it. Give me the best you got to your left, followed by the best you got to your right. Whenever you're ready, Jim, let's try it. 10 degrees, bring it on up as steep as you're comfortable with. Good, hold it right there. And it's like being up the air show at Oshkosh. I got to give you some air show smoke. That's what it looks like, being up here. Now let it come downhill and start rolling it to your right. And 10 degrees to your right, and bring that nose on up. Bring the nose up some more, up some more, up some more. Hold it there. Little right rudder right here. Look at all the rain we've had down here. It's all marshy down there now. And we'll roll it on out, bring it on up. Lazy 8 all by yourself. So what do you think so far? Does it fly like you thought it was going to fly? Is it better? Is it worse? Easier?
So much better. I had no expectation at all. It's really cool.
Well, it's totally natural, and I like to see it when people first get in this thing, a little apprehensive going on, because if you don't have any apprehensive, you're like a bungee cord jumper guy, and I don't want to fly with you. That apprehension keeps people alive, but it takes about 5 or 6 minutes to kind of get over that and to say, wow, this is really cool. Look where I'm flying, and you have total control of your situation. Give me a 180 left or right, your choice, and I want you to climb the airplane back up to 1,000 feet. You're doing a great job. Now keep this in mind, back in World War II, you would have been expected to solo this airplane in between 8 and 12 hours of instruction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now if you couldn't do that, they're going to give you 2 more hours of training. If you still couldn't do it, they kick you out. I'll be honest, look how much you learned in 15 minutes, but I haven't even flown 15 minutes yet, and you're feeling much more comfortable in this thing. Basically, it's the art of the landing, I'll be honest with you. All right, we've got one more thing to do. It's a little bit of slow flight, so just keep the airplane level flight here. I'm going to gently bring the power back. This is cool. You'll like this. Again, we're going to further develop your seat of the pants flying technique. Right. So go ahead and gently lower the nose. Just keep those wings level. Now, Jim, tell me when you can hear the whistle of the wind in the wires.
Right now.
You hear it? All right, focus in on that. Don't listen to the engine. Bring the airplane back to level flight. Bring the nose up some more. Listen to it. Do you hear it slowing down?
Yeah.
Bring the nose up some more. Just trust me on this one. Just
bring
the nose up. Come on back. Come on back. When it stalls, just hold the stick right where it's at. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Here's your stall right here. I don't think it's going to stall. Yeah, bring the nose up some more. You're getting close to it. Bring the nose up. Up, 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 up. Right about here, it's going to say I can't go any slower, so if you won't lower my nose, I'll do it for you. There it is, right there. Now listen to it. Hear the whistle?
Yep.
So you know it's flying again. So you gently bring the nose back up and away you go. So you know what it is, Jim? It's the fear of the unknown. No one likes to stall an airplane. When I say stall on the ground, they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do it because you don't know what's going to happen. Once you break through that barrier and you say, oh, you know what, that was nothing. That was actually kind of fun. That's a kind of a great feeling to get over your fears. Not saying that you're afraid, but most people don't like doing stalls.
I don't like it either.
Well, that is the basics of flight. Up and down, left and right, fast and slow. That's how you fly a plane.
Wow.
Pretty cool. We have 8 minutes left to go in our flight time before we'll make that journey back towards fantasy of flight. Jim, this is your opportunity to have some fun. You know, so if you want to practice some turns, we can do that. And I like what you're doing right now because when we first started out flying, I was watching you in that mirror. You're looking at those instruments a lot, right? Which is normal. Everybody does that. Now look at you. You don't care what that stuff says. You're looking out to the right, to the left. You're like, wow, this is really cool. I feel comfortable. And that was our goal all along. You see, flying is supposed to be fun. You know, if you want to go someplace, you know, buy an airline ticket. If you want to have fun on a Saturday, get a Stearman or a Champ or something that's slow like a Piper Cub. You like this, huh?
Yeah. Where's your reference point for the airstrip?
For the airstrip?
Yes, sir.
Way over there.
Oh, wow.
You see the lakes over there?
Lake over there, okay.
Yeah, it's out there about 8 miles or so. It'll take about 6 minutes to get back. Hey, let's try a turn. You can pick what you're comfortable with. The angle. There you go. I love it. And you roll right into the steep turn. When you do these for your pilot's license, they want you to do a 360 left and right, plus or minus 100 feet. So you can go up or down 100 feet. And just lower that nose just a little bit. Get that wire about 3 or 4 inches above the horizon. So you fly this thing for about 65 hours in your primary training course. Once you graduated from the Stearman, you go into an airplane called a BT-13 basic trainer. You fly that for 100 hours, night flight, instrument training, formation work. From there, the text that we talked about on the ground, and then finally into the fighter. So there was a 3-step, or I guess a 4-step process. You can see why this is number 1. It's really simple.
Yep.
I got an idea for you.
Yep.
Your altimeter right now says 900 feet. I'm going to bring the power back. Take me down to 500 feet. there we go. You adjust your rate of descent by using the throttle. So you can see I brought the power back. The airplane's coming downhill. You're doing great. You're holding about 75 miles an hour. Oh my goodness, there must be a bird convention down there. Look at all those little white birds down there. You doing okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. There you go. So basically what you're learning how to do right now is a descent. So you learn how to climb. Descending is not a big deal. You can hear the whistle of the wind and the wires. Let's make a little bit of a left-hand turn. Take me down to 400 feet. What's great about the Stearman is you're able to do things like this. Our rules that we have in aviation is we have to stay 500 feet away from any person or property. Now you can look around, there's nothing around here, we're at 500 feet now. So, you know, flying low like this, you can actually see stuff, and it's safe because if we had to land for some reason, you know, pick your spot. I'm about to land by Don Smith's farm over here. Awesome. And the other cool thing is you can buzz cows down here too. Now let's make a turn to your left. Now this airplane that you're flying, I mentioned it a little bit on the ground, auctioned off 1946, no longer needed by the United States Navy. Are you ready for this? 310 bucks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was with a full tank of fuel and oil.
It was running?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they wanted him out of there. It was in the Hill Air Force Base out in Ogden, Utah. This airplane was flown from there out to California, was used out there for a couple of years by two gentlemen who purchased the airplane. From there, they sold it to a mosquito abatement company in 1950. They used it to kill mosquitoes. And then lastly, they sold it to a full-fledged crop dusting outfit. They put the big engine on the front, you know, and they are crop dusters. And a common type of flying there was obviously low-level flying. So they tried to fly this thing underneath some power lines, did not get low enough, took out the power lines, took off the top wing. Doesn't fly good as a monoplane. And it was wrecked in a field. My father bought it. I was 6 years old, 1972, and it took him 20 years to restore it, and he flew it in 92. So I've been around this thing my whole life. Let's make a left-hand turn here, Jim. Do you feel that the simulator got you ready for today's flight?
A little bit,
Yeah.
but there's nothing like this.
No, there's nothing like this.
That's
Perfect.
all instruments and stuff. And
There you go. A little bump right there. We're going to start heading on back towards Fantasy Flight. It's over the nose, about 6 miles away, maybe 7 miles. Now, between us and Fantasy Flight is Polk City. To fly back over the city, we need to be a little higher than this. So, like before, I had you climb up at 75. With all this time and experience underneath your belt at this point, this should be a little bit easier for you to maintain that speed. And the airspeed, or the tachometer is about 1,800. I'll give you a little bit more power here. Cool. Off your right wing, if you look over here, you see a big lake over there? That's Lakeland. That lake is Lake Parker. On the far west side of that lake, back in World War II, there was an Army Air Corps training base there. 220 Stearmans were based there from 1941 through 1945. Right where you're flying at right now is their practice area. So every single day back then, there was 200 Stearmans doing what you're doing right here. Interesting. South of us, you'll see there's a landfill. Just beyond that is a lake. That's Bartow. P-51s and T-6s, the Texans, were down there doing their training. Sebring is this way about an hour. That has a big airport out in the middle of nowhere, B-17s. So a lot of training going on here in Central Florida because obviously, let's face it, you can fly here every day. In theory, other than hurricanes and thunderstorms and stuff like that. Cool, here we are back at 1,000 feet. You can lower the nose back to level flight. Now at this point, Jim, here's Fantasy of Flight right over there.
okay.
See the lake?
Yep.
You can look right beyond the lake. You can see the facility there.
Yeah,
so what we're going to do is I'm going to have you go back to Fantasy of Flight. Once you get back there, I'm going to have you fly the pattern to land. We did those 30-degree angle of bank turns up at altitude for that very reason. In the pattern, we're looking for shallow turns, nothing steep. The steeper your angle of bank, the higher your stall speed. So we'll head on back that way. You're looking good. Now, on your simulator, what's the most difficult portion of trying to learn how to land one of those for you? The end. The flare part. A little bit more to your right. Perfect. I'll tell you this, when you fly your simulator, a wise man once told me when I was learning how to fly, and it's true, I'm sure, for the simulator as well, the quality of your landing will be determined by your approach. So we're going to fly a big old rectangle in the sky. If you shoot that approach well, your landing is easy. If you shoot a crummy approach, you have to salvage your landing, and a lot of times it's really, really difficult. A little bit more to your right, and you can lower that nose for me a little bit. We're here at about 1,100 feet. Plenty high. There you go.
It's like at 1 o'clock, right?
Yep, straight ahead.
I think that's the hardest thing getting used to is you're used to looking always straight ahead. And
Yeah, it's not just you. A lot of our licensed pilots, they cannot get past the fact that they can't see where they're going. And they're like, wow, the visibility is horrible. And I'm like, well, you know what? It's not good ahead of you. But you can see all the way around the airplane, and if you fly a Cessna, you can see ahead of you, but you can't see behind you. So I like this, and I tell people basically, if you can't see what you're going to, that means you're going to it. Like right here, perfect, just hold it here. Now you can see that the airplane is kind of buffing it around a little bit. Yeah. You're over controlling it just a little bit, just kind of relax. It's going to go through some turbulence, and generally, it'll fly right through it. Maybe once in a while you have to pick up a wing. Now here's what we got to look at. Off your right wing, you can see, if you look at this lake, for example, you can see the wind drift. It's right on our nose, and you can see how slow we're going up here. Yeah. So the wind has not changed direction since when we left. Right now we're at 1,200 feet. I want you to go ahead and lower the nose. We're going to take it back down to about 1,000. And I think we're in an updraft. That's why Mother Nature's pushed us up. Now, when you learn how to land this thing, what's great about it is you don't care about what the airspeed indicator is telling you. You listen to it. You listen to the whistle of the wind and the wires. Because you're so intent on keeping this thing going straight, that's all you care about. Perfect. Hold it right here. Look at all the lakes around here. It's a really pretty area to fly around in.
You can feel the temperature change.
What's that?
You can feel the temperature change.
Yeah. For every 1,000 feet you climb, it gets, on a normal day, this is good, we can level off here. Every 1,000 feet you climb, it gets 3.5 degrees cooler Fahrenheit. So if we went up to 2,000 feet, you definitely would feel that. At 1,000 feet, 3.5 degrees is not much. All right, Jim, here's what we got. I'm going to give you a couple of landmarks here. Off your left wing, there is a white water tower there. That's going to be landmark number 1. Landmark number 2 is this little open pit mine off your left wingtip. See it there? Yep. So I'm going to have you go up here. You're going to make a left-hand turn, left-hand turn, left-hand turn, left-hand turn. Just keep going straight for now. There we go. Cool. Now the airspeed we're looking for is about 75 or higher. We got that pegged. We did those 30-degree angle of bank turns up at altitude for our pattern. Looking good. So this is what we call our left crosswind, and we call it left crosswind because all your turns are to the left. So just hold her here, looking good. All right, about another 1/8 of a mile here. I'm going to have you make a left-hand turn, and we're looking for 30 degrees. Let's try that about now. There you go. And we'll roll the wings back to level here. Our runway, Jim, at this point is back there, okay? So I want you to make another left-hand turn, head out for that lake off your left wing. I'm going to bring the power back a little bit. Now, I had you bring the nose up in a turn, up at altitude, and that's important because we had cruise power. Now I have the power pulled back, so you want to lower the nose in a turn. Keep going a little bit more to your left and lower the nose. Now, do you see that runway off your left?
I do.
All right. I'm going to bring the power back. We're about 800 feet, so lower the nose. It'll start coming down now. And you have no crosswind. You can see the wind drift on the water.
That's it.
So just disregard any type of, the wind's not going to blow you around at all. If anything, it's going to help you because it's going to slow you down. There you go. When you're ready, and we'll make one more left-hand turn, line it on up. Now just relax your control inputs there. Just move the stick less. There you go. Perfect. Now, what's great about this is if you lower the nose, there's your runway right ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
So you can actually see it. And lower the nose for me some more. Now, I want you to stay with me on this flare. I'll kind of show you how to do this thing. Yeah, we'll get back over towards the runway here. All right, just stay with me. I got the airplane. Just make sure the heels of your feet are on the floorboards. All right, now listen to this thing.
Yeah.
We don't care what the airspeed indicator says. Now, we're just going to be nice and gentle with it. Listen to it, listen to it, listen to it, and we're on the ground.
Wow. So smooth.
Yeah. And we never get on the brakes with it. We just kind of sit here. She'll slow down and stop when she wants to. And it's going to kind of dribble through this intersection here. Did you have a good time?
That was unbelievable.
Was that the fastest half an hour of your life?
It really was. It really was.
Let me turn this thing around. Now, half an hour ago, we talked about how to taxi this thing.
Yeah.
Let me get the tail wheel straight for you. All right, put your feet back on those pedals, heels on the floorboard. You got it.
Right.
So what we want to do is those little S-turns that we talked about a half an hour ago,
Yeah.
or now 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So right now, we're going to the left. You can look over to the right, so you use the right pedal forward. And you're looking for alligators, turtles, and cows, small children. There we go. Perfect, just like that. Keep it in the middle of the runway. Most taxiways are not this wide. This is like a bomber taxiway, or taxiway here. There you go, just like that. And just go straight. Jill does a pretty nice job keeping everybody out of the way. A little bit more to your left so we don't hit this little left, so we hit that runway marker. And now head towards that biplane there. Just keep on going. It's kind of a muddy bog right here, which is why my airplane's a mess. All right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take it from here. Great job. Put this thing back where we found it here. And we go all the way to the right. She'll swing right around. And to shut her down, it's pretty simple. That red ball on the left-hand side that says M, pull that all the way back for me. Take one more deep whiff. Smell that expensive 100 octane. Great job.
Excellent. Thank you so much.